Greetings, fellow human, Missy here. If you are a fan of the warmer months like me and not crazy about the winter and the cold, or maybe you're the complete opposite and you love the winter and you're just interested in a different perspective, then I made this video just for you. Today, I thought I would bring you a little bit more of a light-hearted video. This is really just some fun. It's something to help me and maybe it will help you as well. The reason that I thought of making this video is that we are currently in autumn and going into our winter months. I live in South Africa, not to be confused with Southern Africa, as in the south part of the continent of Africa. South Africa is actually a country. And yeah, if you don't live here, you are probably not aware that we have one of the most incredible climates in the world. We have the most wonderful weather year-round. Like really, I should not be complaining, but that's why I say this is light-hearted. It is just a bit of fun because I am going to complain about winter. And no place doing that because we barely ever get snow. It barely ever gets incredibly cold here. It gets cold overnight, but during the day the temperatures go up and it does get lovely and warm. But I'm still going to complain because I don't like being cold. Our houses are not built for the cold because we don't have much cold. So when it is cold, it really does, you know, we all shivering. South Africans, like as a people generally, there are some exceptions who really enjoy the cold weather and look forward to it, but most of us are warm weather people. Now, before we actually get into the video, I just wanted to put a little bit of a disclaimer here. This video really is just a little bit of fun. It's me not enjoying the cold and trying to find some ways to make that easier on myself, and hopefully that might help you as well if you're also someone who's just like, not a big fan of the cold. But if you are someone who feels like the cold really affects your mental health, please reach out to someone, please talk to someone. That is not a way to live, and there are ways to get help for that, to cope with that a lot better. But back onto the light-hearted video. As I said, I live in South Africa. I am going to put the temperatures on the screen for the upcoming week, the temperatures that I am so unhappy about. And you'll see that the nighttime temperatures get pretty low here, but in the day, the temperatures are great. But yeah, they're not the summertime equivalent because it takes a while to get up to those temperatures. And while we wait for that, we're all snuggled in our jackets and our socks and our pajamas and everything warm that we can find because, as I said, our houses are not made for this weather, which is fine. They're made for the warmer weather. That's where we live. But that's why the colder times are a little bit of a pain to a lot of us South Africans. Just for context, it is the end of May when I'm filming this, so those temperatures are for the next week going into June. Now, June, July, and August are South Africa's winter months. And to be very honest with you, the temperatures don't change a whole lot from what I'm showing you now. We will just get cold snaps in between. So sometimes the temperature will go down to maybe 16 and below, but not much more than that are daytime temperatures. It's very unusual to have daytime temperatures under 10. And you can just imagine how unhappy I and a lot of South Africans are when it gets that cold. So we are just not prepared because we have such wonderful weather year-round. Towards the end of August, it starts to warm up. And then from September, where I live, I know it's not like that everywhere in the country, but where I live, we usually switch straight over into summer, you know, wonderful hot days, and it's just amazing all of the rest of the months of the year. For anyone watching this who doesn't live in South Africa and you're wondering if we have snow, every now and then, yes we do, and where I live it's incredibly rare, but we actually did have snow last year. It decided to arrive in the middle of September, which is well into spring for us, so it didn't even try and arrive in winter, you know, just have all the cold over in one go. But for us, it is quite an event. It's so exciting when it snows. So you know what, we'll take the cold. It's fine. We really enjoy that. And I know in other countries, like snow can be, you know, it's just such a normal thing. And it's a lot of times an annoyance, something that you need to clear away and deal with. But here, it becomes almost like a holiday for everybody. Everybody's out and about playing in the snow. And then the winter weather is acceptable to us because the snow melts within a day or two, and then we're back to the warmth. Now, going into this winter, I thought to myself that this year I want to do things differently. I want to really embrace the winter months for all that I can and try and make the best of them, because usually, especially my mom and I, we will just sit and joke about hibernating through the entire winter. And I don't want to wish my life away. I want to enjoy all of it, even the colder months that are not my favorite time of year. So if that's you, I'm hoping that some of the things that I've come up with might be helpful to you. And as I said in the intro, if you are the complete opposite, maybe you just want to listen to a different perspective and hear about someone who lives in a wonderful climate complain. Maybe you're busy doing your chores and busy around the house, you just want some company, and here I am waffling. So if that's what you're here for, fantastic. For everybody else, I hope that some of these ideas will make the winter a little bit more bearable for you instead of wanting to hibernate the time away. The first thing that I'm really going to be focusing on this winter, that I'm hoping is going to help me enjoy the colder months a lot more, is wearing clothes that make me happy, that make me feel comfortable, that feel aligned with who I am. This is something that I have gradually been doing over the last couple of years, but it's something that I really want to commit to going forward. And I'm not saying that I'm going to go and buy a whole new wardrobe. I mean, nobody has money for that. I have perfectly good clothing, but I have a lot of clothing from years and years and years ago that's still good, but that I bought in the past where I was trying to sort of fit in with what, we usually wear in the winter. I mean, here there are usually a lot of grays and browns and blacks in the winter. It's very dreary, it's very dull. And I understand, that's for some reason what fashion decided the winter was all about. And every now and then we have little pops of color, but, generally. And then it's also that whole idea of, well, if I buy black pants, they'll match with so many more things than if I bought a specific color, because then it will be harder to match things to those. And then I have to buy more clothes. And I've really been thinking about this lately and thinking how many of the clothes that I own really don't make me happy. I don't put them on and think, wow, I feel so good in this. This makes me want to get dressed in the cold in the morning and go out into the day. And I want to change that. And I'm wondering if that would maybe help anybody else. This thought of when you go shopping, just do so very mindfully. Now, maybe you absolutely love the grays and the blacks and the browns. That's fine, fantastic, wonderful. Wear what makes you happy. But for me, I really enjoy color. And for some reason, society has decided that color is a summer thing. And no, I want to wear that in winter as well. I want to get excited about my clothing when I need to get out of my nice, warm, fluffy pajamas. I want it to be something that I'm excited to get into, and not just colors. I want it to be comfortable. For me, how this is going to look going into the winter months and how I have started to implement it is to look at what I have to wear for winter and think about where the gaps are. What do I still need? And also, what am I just not wearing? And then to pass on the things that I really don't reach for, somebody else can use them. And then to slowly start filling those gaps of the things that I need, but to fill them mindfully. So not just to be like, okay, well, I need a pair of pants. Okay, let's just take this black pair. But to wait until there's something that really speaks to me. And it is so nice to shop like that. I recently got myself 2 new pairs of leggings, and they're in different colors. And I was so tempted in the shops to just get a black pair because, it just goes with everything. And thankfully my daughter was there and we'd been talking about this, and she looked at me and she's like, you said no black leggings. And there's nothing wrong with black leggings. It's just that they weren't what I had gone to shop for. I had gone to shop for something colorful that made me happy. And I walked away with 2 new pairs of leggings that are going to fill up my winter wardrobe in such a happy, comfy, colorful way for the rest of the winter, and hopefully winters to come. Now, you may have noticed that a lot of what I've been saying is just to do with myself. It's to do with how I feel in my clothing, how it makes me feel. I want to wear things that make me happy and comfortable. And that it's not about showing off or looking a certain way for other people. And that said, when you dress authentically, when you dress in a way that makes you feel comfortable and happy, it's so interesting how that shines out to other people and inspires them. That's one of the reasons that I've been so inspired to dress in a way that makes me happy, especially in the colder months. I saw somebody on social media who is a local celebrity and dresses just absolutely how she pleases in the most beautiful clothing, like just colorful, so colorful. And it just inspired me. And I thought, I love that. I love that she will go out and just wear what makes her comfortable and what makes her happy, even if socially it's not our usual like grays and browns and, muted winter colors. And that inspired me. And it also made me think of recently, my daughter and I went off to the bank and someone was working there and she was wearing these my daughter called them friendly socks. And my daughter commented and said, I want to be that. I want to be brave enough to wear friendly socks so that when people see me, they feel so much more comfortable and they feel like I'm approachable because I'm wearing these friendly socks. And I thought, how wonderful. I love socks. And I love socks with cute things on. So I want to embrace that more as well. Not hiding my socks under my pants, but being like, these are my socks. I'm wearing them today and they make me happy and I want to see them. And if you see them, then you know that I'm approachable and a friendly person and maybe they put a smile on your face today. So I just wanted to add that in as well. So even if you're doing it absolutely for you, you have no idea what showing your authenticity, what kind of a ripple effect it can have in the world, even if it's completely unintentionally affecting people's lives in a small but really meaningful way. Just to summarize what I'm going to be doing going forward into the winter months, and maybe this is helpful to you as well, is looking very critically at my wardrobe, spotting any gaps, and then shopping mindfully. Shopping less, but shopping for exactly what I need that fits my criteria of being colorful and comfortable and authentically me. The next thing that I want to focus on going into the winter months, and maybe this will be exciting for you as well and make things a little bit easier when you go into your winter months, wherever you are in the world, is finding things to celebrate. In our family, all of the birthdays, like my close family within our home, all of the celebrations are from mid-September to mid-December. That's when everybody's birthdays in the house are. And then it's Christmas time. And honestly, from springtime up until then, that is just my absolute favorite time of year. I love all the celebrations. I love the springtime. I love everything about that time of year. And then after that, it's January and it's new beginnings and it's excitement and all of that. So it's just such a lovely time of year for me personally. I know it's not for everyone, but for me. But then we get to the winter months here in South Africa. So that's June, July, August. And there's really not much going on. We have Father's Day in June. So that's definitely something to celebrate. And other than that, family-wise, it's just my brother's birthday. And yeah, we won't be seeing him this year. We'll be on holiday. So we're cheating the system a little bit this year and finding an entire holiday to celebrate. And even though my brother's not going to be on holiday this year with us, we're definitely going to be celebrating his birthday in his absence. Any excuse for a celebration. In our family, we try to find any and every excuse to celebrate. So as things come up, we'll celebrate them. Any achievement, anything that happened, any good day, any good news, we will celebrate that. And sometimes even when not so nice things happen, we will still get together and, not celebrate the bad thing, but celebrate that we're together, if that makes sense. Something that I started doing a few years ago and is getting more elaborate every year and more fun every year is celebrating the winter solstice. So the day that things start to turn around, that the days start getting longer again and the nights start getting shorter again. Every year I try to do something really special for that and have whoever is around over for that time. Going forward, even though in our family celebrations are a really big deal, I want to try and find more of them in the winter months. And for us, that doesn't mean spending a lot of money, planning a huge thing. It just means getting together and enjoying each other's company and enjoying something fun together. The next thing that I'm going to be focusing on going into the colder months is the things that are unique and special about winter and about the cold. Now, you might be thinking about specific foods, specific drinks, curries and soups and hot chocolates. And for our family, that's a year-round thing. It will be 35 degrees Celsius and we will be eating a curry because we love curry. We will be eating a soup. It's fine. We'll have a cup of hot chocolate. Those things are not really seasonal for us personally. And you also might be thinking about nature, about like how different it is and how beautiful it is, and how stark the trees look against the skyline with the setting sun. And no, for me, that's also not something that personally I see as unique and wonderful about winter. I feel sad when the grass dies and everything is brown and the leaves fall and the trees are bare. I find it sad, and I know that it's a cycle, it's part of nature, it's part of just the way that things work. But for me, that's not something that it's not something that's going to help me if I focus on the winter months. And maybe those are things for you, but if not, then here are some other suggestions, things that I've thought about specifically. The biggest one for me is outdoor activities. The winter is the time where it is so nice all day long to be outside. And that's if you live in a climate where that is a good thing. Obviously, if it's snowing the entire day, it's not. But here, most of the year, the middle of the day is not the time that you want to be out walking on the beach or hiking in the mountains or anything like that. It is just incredibly hot. You want to be enjoying the nature from the shade, observing it from there, and then enjoying those kinds of activities in the mornings and the evenings. But winter, the entire day is open for that. It's really cold in the mornings, it's really cold in the evenings, but the entire day other than that is open for outdoor activities. And uniquely to me, because I have albinism, I can't be in the sun too much. But the winter sun is nowhere near as bad as the summer sun. So with sunscreen and with all of the layers and clothing on, I'm so well protected from the sun that I can go out and enjoy nature all day long, whereas in the summer, I absolutely can't do that. So that is the biggest one for me. That is the biggest unique thing about winter that I absolutely love, is getting out and being able to any time of the day go and have a walk, go and be outside. And smaller ones are sitting outside in the sun with my legs on my back in the sun and just enjoying that warmth and that cozy feeling. And nighttime, a big one for me, is sleeping with my weighted blanket, feeling so cozy and warm, and it is just the best feeling with the snuggly pajamas. And yeah, it's not something I can usually do because the weighted blanket just gets too warm most of the year, and for me that really helps me sleep. So my sleep does suffer when I can't use my weighted blanket. Those are things that for me personally really make the winter unique and special. And as you can see, I have a very short list. I'm working on it, but maybe you can add to that. Maybe you can think of some more things. And if you do, please put them in the comments below, because I would love to hear what you think. And maybe some of your suggestions will help me as well. The next thing that I really want to be focusing on in these colder months of the year is how special they make the rest of the year for me. So this one gets a little bit philosophical. You can obviously think of life in this way as well. Without the not so nice times, it's arguably harder to enjoy the good times as much because we don't realize how the bad times feel. So I'm not saying that winter is the worst thing in the world, but it does remind me in those summer months, how incredible this actually is, because you have something to compare to that in your opinion is not so incredible. And in the colder months, it really helps me to think about that, to look forward to the warmer weather and all the wonderful things I'm going to do. And that, again, as I said in the beginning, I don't want to be wishing my life away. So to balance that with all of the other things that I've spoken about, to find the joy, everything wonderful about the winter months, but still to look forward to all of the wonderful things that come with the warmer weather. For me, thinking in this way really does just make something that already feels so magical to me feel even more magical. So thinking about the spring and the rains and the thunderstorms coming back and the grass becoming green again, the trees with their leaves, beautiful green spring leaves, the flowers coming back, everything just being so bright and new and colourful after the dreariness of winter. Looking forward to, as I said, for me personally, my favourite time of year, all the celebrations, and then Christmas time and evening braais outside. If you're not from here, meat on the fire outside, barbecue. We love to do that. It's as soon as the weather is warmer, that's what we're going to be doing outside, spending time with family, just that magical feeling of being out in the evenings, and it's so lovely and warm, and that freedom from all the restrictive clothing. For me personally, I don't enjoy wearing all the restrictive clothing, all of the layers. Oh, it drives me nuts. So just being in, thin layers of clothing, it's, to look forward to all of that. Looking forward to having swims in the summer again and having more energy and drive to do things. And I know that's maybe just to me personally, but for me, the warmer months are when I feel more energetic, more ready to get things done. As I'm sitting here chatting with you, I actually did think of one more thing to add to the list of things that are unique about winter and something to appreciate. And that's that in the evenings, there are no mosquitoes trying to eat you all the time. So that is something I'm going to add to my list to be grateful for in winter. Now, to be honest, I think that I've experienced enough cold and winters to carry that appreciation forward into eternal summer, if that were the case, but it's not. So I am going to spend my winters being appreciative and knowing that that wonderful warmer weather that I love so much is coming back, and using the colder months to help me to appreciate that more and trying to appreciate them for what they are. The last thing that I want to be focusing on in the winter months is just trying my best to make things as cozy as possible for me and everyone else in the house. So making sure that all the spaces that we're in have a blanket easily accessible, so that whoever's there can just wrap it around and feel nice and warm, like having a blanket in my office so that when I go and sit down to work and I'm warm to start with and I start getting really cold, I don't have to sit and think, oh, I'll go and get a blanket just now. It'll be right there. The whole cozy vibe. My house generally has a cozy vibe all year round because I love fairy lights, but maybe that's something that you'd like to add. It's just, some little touches that make it really nice. Maybe a candle, maybe some fairy lights, maybe something that just makes it feel warmer and cozier and nicer, and having things on hand that just, make things feel warmer and more comfortable, and somewhere that you're excited to come home to after you've been out in the cold. Just that feeling of, maybe being out the whole day and coming home to your house and just knowing that it's going to be the most comfortable, cozy space that it can be. And something else, and this is something that I've done for years, but being comfortable with getting into your pajamas early, getting cozy as early as you can. It's fine. It's okay. There is no shame. There is absolutely no shame in getting into your pajamas and getting ready for bed at 5 p.m. and then just relaxing and enjoying your cozy little vibe until bedtime. As I said in the beginning, this video was just a little bit of fun. It was just something different that I felt like doing because I'm thinking about these things right now. And I really am curious to know, if you are like me and you are not a winter person, what are the things that you do to make the winter months better? Please leave it in the comments below, because I am so curious to hear what other people think. And if you are not at all a warmer months person and you absolutely love the winter, what about the winter is so special to you? I would love to hear about your perspective and your thoughts. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please feel free to like and subscribe so that you can see more from me. And if you are interested in working with me as your life coach, There is a link in the description below. I turn warriors into warriors. Until next time, remember that you, fellow human, regardless of your likes and dislikes, can find fun and beauty in every day, whatever the weather.